Hello, mysterious person behind the screen, and welcome back to our series of commentaries on Edgar Wright's Three Favours Cornetto Trilogy. I'm once again joined by Isaac.
My, here come the fuzz.
And we're doing Hot Fuzz this week. Arguably the most popular of the three, arguably. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
If you'd like to sync this up with your own copy of Hot Fuzz, put the film to the start and press play in 3, 2, 1, go.
So the reason I say it's probably the most popular of the three is I think it's the one that sort of outside the world of this trilogy is the one you hear most people talking about just as a film on its own.
That's true, yeah. Because I think I'd argue it's probably the most popular one out of the three in America, because they seem to love this one the most, I'd say. But yeah, I hold all three films in high regard, but if I had to pick which one is the one I laugh at the most, it's probably this one.
Yeah,
and we'll get to it. And we'll get to it next time, of course. But I still think World's End is the best. But I think Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright have said that this is their favourite film that they've made. I think
I can definitely see that. It feels like when you think of Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright, this is probably like the quintessential film for those three. Like it just feels it's the first thing that kind of comes to mind when you think of that trio, I think.
Definitely, yeah.
And like I say, I think most people, like, even if they've not seen the other two films in the trilogy, like most people have seen this. I think in Britain, at least, it's very much like a like
it's on ITV2 all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like my grandparents love this, and they do not like the other two films in the trilogy at all.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay,
but they love this one.
So. And also the title, I think, is perfect as well, because it's a send-up to all those action films with gritty-sounding titles, but they don't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Die Hard, Point Break, Lethal Weapon. What do they even mean? And here we've got Hot Fuzz. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And also the Father Christmas we're about to see here is Peter Jackson.
It is, yeah. Peter Jackson making the first Lord of the Rings cameo in this film. There is another one, of course, later on.
It's funny, when I first watched this film, I didn't know anything about the plot or the twists, which is, I definitely recommend going not knowing anything, because it just makes it all the more funny. But yeah, it was just such a great experience when I first watched it, because I had no idea where it was going, because I genuinely thought, it's a guy in a city moving to the country. It's going to be, a fish out of water story? Yeah. No, it's not. You think then it's going to be about a town that has silly accidents? No, it's not. Is it a murder mystery with a complex plan? No, it's not.
Definitely, yeah. It's considering it's the, because obviously each film in the trilogy pastiches one genre. This is very much a hybrid of so many different things. Like, it's a slasher film as well.
It is, yeah.
You know, it's this big hybrid, and I really love it for that.
And apparently real police officers, in fact, they're on the commentary here. I think they actually helped them put the film together so it'd look authentic. They said, one thing that this film does over other action films is the paperwork. You never see paperwork getting done in an action film.
Definitely.
And here it's kind of a running joke. Because whenever someone gets arrested, you've got that Edgar Wright style editing of filling out paperwork, but it looks like an action scene.
Definitely. It was very cool. Yeah, and I just love this, like, chorus line of British actors here in the police station at the start.
I mean, I've used the meme, with respect, sir, you can't make people disappear. Yes, I can, I'm the chief inspector. That was John Nathan Turner in 1985. With respect, sir, you can't make Doctor Who disappear. Yes, I can. I'm the controller of BBC One. I mean, I think this is quite relatable if you've ever worked in retail, because when they say, I want to speak to someone higher, you're just like, yeah, but they're going to say exactly the same as what I've said.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
hmm And also, it feels like the Nicholas Angel is the only quote-unquote normal person in this world, because it seems like everyone in London's insane, everyone in Sanford is insane.
Definitely, yeah.
He's basically the Frank Grimes of the Cornetto Trilogy.
That's a good point. I've never thought of it like that. Yeah, you're right. That's cool. No, he's the one straight man in this world of comedy characters.
Now, Kate Blanchett here, she doesn't take off her mask, does she?
No, she doesn't. It's just...
So, yeah, you'd have no idea that this is her.
I love that she doesn't take off the mask, though, because it's such a cool bit of... it's such a cool cameo, because it's not obvious. I think I'd watched this like 2 times before I realised who it was.
Yeah, like, there's so many British actors in this, it's great.
This one probably more than, I think, the others, maybe. I think this is the most.
Oh, yeah, also the commentaries on the Blu-ray are insane. It's like Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg, the Sanford Police Force, the Neighbourhood Watch Alliance, the police consultants, and randomly of all, Edgar Wright and Quentin Tarantino.
It's absolutely insane. The like I said in the last commentary, the special features for these Blu-rays are absolutely incredible. Like they are packed. Hello there. I love that. That's one of my favourite just random lines in cinema.
Hello there. And again, it shows us the as well as telling us at the start who Nicholas Angel is, graduated from university, suffered these injuries, served this many years in the force. It also does a great job showing us what type of person he is, because obviously he's talking to his girlfriend, and his biggest concern is what happened at the crime scene. And even when he's leaving, he can't help but point out, you do know the window was broken from the inside, not out, or something like that.
Yeah. And just the editing here again is just it's Edgar Wright, but it's such.
And I love the joke here, the welcome to Sanford, and the next sign is Model Village.
Yeah.
Again, it's trying to be the perfect village.
It's so good. There's a video essay on YouTube about Edgar Wright, and they use this scene as an example of why his style just works. Because you look at most other comedies where a character moves into a small town or a big city, or like moves into a new place, and they all shoot it the same way. There's always a pop song playing underneath, but this is so different. Like the editing is just unlike any of those comedies, and it revels.
And I love how this comes back. Fascist. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
And then hag. I'm gonna lie, whenever I used to play COD, I'd actually, particularly when I was fighting the Germans, I'd actually shout, fascist!
Yeah.
Or I'd shoot them.
Oh, God. The dialogue in this is just perfect.
Yep.
stayed in a few places like this recently because I've been doing filming for work, and like we just go into these random B&B is so accurate to this. Like when it's just this like rundown place where nobody seems to run it at all.
Well, in a job I've got upcoming, I've got to stay in a caravan.
Oh, really?
Yep, that's my accommodation next. Now, these hoodies sat here, was this part of a subplot that ultimately ended up on the cutting room floor?
I think it was, yeah.
Because it was about vandalism, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There she is again from Spaced and Shaun of the Dead. That's oh, I keep forgetting her name. She's I keep forgetting her name, but yeah, I think she's in the third one as well. I can't remember. Where you are, my love.
I love those accents. Yeah. Oh, whenever it's the 22nd of February or the 8th of May, Edgar Wright will post up saying, it's this kid's birthday today. It's brilliant. 8th of May, 1969. This kid is 53 today.
Well, yeah.
That kid looks like... It's that kid there who says every year. It looks like that ginger kid from those Aardman shorts. Yeah. The one who sits in the back of the car. I can't remember what they're called. It's going to bug me forever.
The great are good.
Yeah, whenever the greater good is said in the film, it's always repeated again immediately after.
I do that in real life under my breath sometimes. Somebody will say the greater good, and I'll just go the greater good.
Mm-hmm.
I love it, the little clues and details as well in this. It's just like Shaun of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you are savvy enough, you can figure out exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, the neighbourhood watcher lines, they've got names that are quite unpleasant. Yeah. Skinner, Cleaver, Bletchley, something like that.
They're all like, yeah, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is though, like where I'm from, like the city I live in and grew up in it's very much the accents are like this. That's the thing. So it's just around. Where I'm from, you just hear this around, like, and it's just some sort of random living in Hot Fuzz.
Yep. I mean, isn't Sanford the name of the town that police trainees use during their exams or something like that?
That's it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, I love how they use paperwork as well.
Yeah, it makes it seem so cool. Like.
Mm-hmm.
The cone on the head still.
Yeah, where did that come from?
I always forget about that.
Now, on his run here, he encounters all these people in the same place again at the climax when they're all shooting at him.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
I didn't know that. That's
I
cool.
think so. Yeah, because obviously the vicar comes out from near the archway.
Yeah.
The doctor's near his car.
Right.
She's on her bike. Trying to think of anything else. Timothy Dalton, he's so great in this. He is having an absolute blast.
He really is, and it's such a different performance for him, because you see him in interviews and he's this very like serious Shakespearean actor, like he's classically
I'm a classically trained actor.
Yeah, he's
catch me later.
The thing is, his character from Toy Story is basically what he's like in interviews, and it's just to see.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just good on him because he jumps in head first, like he goes for it.
Mm-hmm. I think the great thing about each film is that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, they always play completely different characters. All three are distinct from one another, and it's great because even with Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, even though Simon Pegg in both instances is the straight man, they're very different straight men.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I even looking at The World's End as well. This Nicholas Angel is complete. Like Gary King's the type of person that Nicholas Angel would arrest on a daily basis.
Yeah, definitely.
Different.
Yeah.
Jim Broadbent goes for it as well. Like he's so.
Yeah.
Every actor in this does. Like they know.
Yeah, and when he said Sanford is the safest village in the country, that reminded me of an article I read. The city I went to for uni, Lincoln, it was named as one of the top 10 nicest places to live in the UK.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Jim Broadbent has one of those voices where I can't ever imagine him getting angry.
No,
it's just too pleasant and nice.
Exactly, yeah. A great big bushy beard.
Bushy beard.
Probably
room.
The most angry I've seen him is probably in Half-Blood Prince.
Oh yeah.
Dumbledore put you up to this, didn't he? Didn't he? Like all that. Even then, it's like it's. Somebody recreated the famous Andy's scene from this in Lego. Like they
oh wow.
later on where they both pop out of the frame and then the one pops back in. Like somebody did that.
And a great detail there on the swear box. Everything is censored apart from the big C.
Yeah. Perfect. Again, the jokes in this, you some of them you just wouldn't catch. On the first watch at all.
And apparently that dog Saxon, it was trained to be a police dog, but apparently was considered too nice to be a police dog. Yeah.
You would not know watching this that Olivia Colman is an Academy Award winner.
Oh yeah. Oh, that line there. Well, I see we have visitors. He says that line again when Nicholas discovers the Neighbourhood Watch Alliance.
Yeah, of course. There's so many things that come back in this.
Yep.
I love this is like a subtle dig as well at like sometimes in authority it's the smallest problems that authorities.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They'll ignore the massive issues and they'll just be like, oh these these kids do it,
Yep. I remember going to London once. I did see a living statue around Covent Garden.
Yeah. They kind of freaked me out a bit, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Plus, I love how the Andes are so hostile towards him for no other
Yeah.
reason. There's no reason, but it's so funny. They just stare at him like he's just ruined their lives constantly. We all sell apples round here, don't we? Paddy Considine is so great in this.
Oh, again, it's just like everyone. I can't think of a bad performance in this really. Like
No, neither can
I
I.
can't think of one that it misses the mark or anything. It's just everyone is.
hmm
And I just like I love Bob Walker, PC Bob Walker in this. Because it's just again those people who just you can't understand a word they're saying, but you kind of respect them just because of their age and their you feel like
Exactly,
they've
yeah.
gone through the world, and it's like you can't understand
hmm
a thing you're saying, but you know.
Again, kind of like Ed from Shaun of the Dead, a character like Danny could easily have become
Yeah,
annoying, but thanks to Nick Frost's performance, you just love Danny because
yeah,
he's just got so
definitely.
much optimism and sees the best in everyone in life.
And again, Danny is so different from Ed because
Yeah.
Ed is selfish and just a complete dickhead. But like
hmm
Danny's clumsy and he's a bit dim, but he's a nice person.
Yeah, he always means well, yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
but I think I read a stat once about the Quentin Tarantino commentary on this. Apparently, they discuss and reference over 200 films
Oh,
during
wow.
that commentary. So it is just like two film geeks just going mad.
hmm Yeah, Reverend Shooter and Mr. Cleaver, you
Yeah,
know. The film is almost telling you that these guys are evil,
yeah,
but you don't suspect them because they're all pensioners.
exactly. And the thing that Edgar Wright does so well in every single one of his films is that all of his foreshadowing is obvious when you know, but it's not jumping out of the screen at you and going, "This is what's happening. This is what's happening." It's so
hmm
subtle, but
Exactly,
when
yeah.
you've watched the film so many times, you pick up on this stuff. But it's so cleverly written into the script. It's such a clever way of doing it. Because
hmm
I've seen a lot of people who try to imitate Edgar Wright think that that technique is just straight up telling the audience what's going to happen, like in a really obvious manner, which isn't the case. It's a lot more subtle and much more clever than that.
Yeah, because they never look at the camera or break the
Yeah,
fourth wall
exactly.
and say, "Get that audience." Like that can be funny, but
Yeah,
it wouldn't feel right here. I don't think because
definitely.
every detail is so subtle. Now, this question that Danny asks here, it's you could apply that to Star Wars. Is it true that there's a hole in the Death Star that if you shoot it, it will blow up? I often greet people like that. Hi,
Hey,
hi.
hey. Righty ho ho.
Plus, I love this scene here. I mean, it comes back later, but the whole Swans escape, it just shows how small and insignificant all the crimes are compared to what his life was like in London.
Yeah, exactly. I love Stephen Merchant in this. Mr. Piss-taker.
It is, yeah. Well, it's a swan.
This swan bit is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a film. I think just the whole thing, and then the fact that it comes back later. Like, this could have just been a one gag thing, but it's just the whole thing just is.
Yeah, and I love the no luck catching them swans. Then later, no luck catching them killers. Then, I mean, people have done that with Lord of the Rings. No luck finding that rings. Then it's just the one ring actually. Oh, here's our cornetto.
Yes, yeah. Here's the cornetto for the film.
Mm.
I love that in the third one. It's almost like an afterthought because it's a rapper at the end, isn't it?
It is in The World's End. Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. Ah, yes. Here's a fun fact. This Auntie Jackie's sister's brother's boy is Bernie Harris in Torchwood.
He is, yeah. I remember watching this and being like, Bernie Harris. And
I'm gonna bloody kill ya. Now this guy, Mike Lurch, is on Game of Thrones.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and Jim Broadbent was on Game of Thrones, and also Kevin Eldon. In fact, funnily enough, Kevin Eldon, he played two different characters on Game of Thrones.
Oh wow, okay. Pulling a Doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, and both within a season of each other. That was really weird.
Love the Shaun of the Dead DVD and the.
It is, yeah.
It's not called Shaun of the Dead, is it? It's called something else, but it's the
Zombie Party, something like that.
But it's the poster from Shaun of the Dead.
Mm-hmm. Yo. The funny thing is, the character he plays on Game of Thrones, in the books at least, his character becomes a mute. So when I read that in the book, I was like, oh, is he going to start saying yerp? Is Summerfield even around anymore? This supermarket?
No, I think they shut their doors.
Yeah. Gotta admit, in the noughties, everything seemed to be a supermarket.
Yes, definitely.
Now it just seems we're down to the top four: Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury's, and Morrison's.
Yeah. Woolworths is no more. There was that scare last year because somebody put a
yeah
on Twitter and they said, "Oh, Woolworths is coming back," and it like took the UK by storm, and then it was like, "Oh no, it's fake."
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, since Russell T Davies has been announced as the new showrunner, Toys R Us is coming back.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And BBC Three is coming back. It's almost like we're going back to 2008.
Absolutely mad. I mean, like, what year are we living in? Russell T Davies is in charge of Doctor Who again. Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man. Spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. Spoilers, yeah. Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man again. Sam Raimi is directing a superhero film again. The BBC are like sci-fi and fantasy on prime time Saturday nights again with Superman.
They are, yeah.
Just like the mid to late 2000s, it's nuts.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, last time RTD was showrunner, the Tories weren't in power. And by the time he comes back, there'll be another general election.
Funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
One person can take down.
Who's going to? Yeah. Well, what did Andrew Cartmel say when he became script editor? I want to bring down the government.
Yeah. There you go.
Can you imagine if that got out today? The Not My Doctor morons would throw a hissy fit. They'd be like, he's pushing an agenda onto this now. Like, fuck off. Now here's a fun fact about that fence gag.
So funny.
Nick Frost, when he went through it, he deliberately turned
Yes,
around to look at the camera to see, I did this. It wasn't a
it
stunt
was
double.
him. Yeah, that's.
Plus, I love that music cue that played when Nicholas Angel perfectly jumped the fence, and it starts off again with Danny, but then just stopped when he crashed through it.
Yes, yeah. Of course.
Oh, it's so casual. Oh, Danny. Oh, Pete.
Of course, this is the film where the Cornetto Trilogy moniker started, because it was this is where they started referring to it as part two of a trilogy. It was
Yeah.
during the production of this one, so.
And I love the music here. I'll make sure everyone gets their just desserts. It cuts to Nicholas looking really pissed off, and the
Yeah.
music is, oh no! But then again, later on in the film, it has double meaning because we find that he's been brutally murdered.
Yeah. Yeah, they.
Perfect.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's like perfect use of
Mm.
music.
I just realised Nicholas Angel is the only Simon Pegg character who successfully jumps over a fence.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other two don't.
Of course, like the Cornetto thing stems from Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright trying to get free ice cream, essentially,
Yeah,
because
definitely,
it
yeah.
was because they got free Cornettos at the wrap party for Shaun of the Dead, because
Oh,
they
nice.
put it in that film, obviously, and that was their kind of reward, should we say? So they put it in this
Mhm.
one as another attempt to get free ice cream, and
Mm,
it didn't work.
nice. Plus, this guy here playing Martin Blower, he's played by David Frelfall, who played
Yes.
Frank Gallagher in Shameless, a completely different
Oh
character.
God, it is him, right? Yeah, I
Yeah,
can see it now. I've never seen Shameless, but like I feel like everyone recognizes Frank Gallagher because it's like he's quite an icon, isn't it? Jesus
yeah,
Christ, that's
definitely. Yeah,
absolutely
he is
brilliant.
so different.
That's
I actually
mad.
couldn't believe it when I realised it was him.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Honestly, like
Yeah.
you hypnotized him.
Oh, that is great.
That is great.
hmm
I love it again that the Shakespeare stuff comes back later on with the. It's just brilliant, like the whole.
hmm
Because when Timothy Dalton. I forgot. Oh, what's his name? What's the name of the character? Well, that's really weird.
Skinner.
That's it. Why did I forget that? That's really weird. When he's driving past later on, he's playing Romeo and Juliet, the song, in the car.
He is, yeah. And I think earlier on where they pulled them both over for speeding, isn't that the same road where they're decaffeinated?
Yeah, yeah.
I love how intentionally bad this is, but
I know, it's brilliant.
and the great thing is knowing the motivation of the Neighborhood Watch Alliance. If you look at their faces, they're like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
he's going to be a problem." Like he's next on their list now.
I love Angel's face.
It's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, this is absolutely the funniest of the three. Like,
Well, I did a Shakespeare play once, and for some reason, it wasn't my idea. We just started singing "Putting on the Ritz" at the end.
all right,
Yep.
that makes sense. Oh god.
Have you seen the TV-friendly version of this, where they deliberately just say other words to cover swearing?
No, I haven't. What's the?
It's on the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
It's like Hot Fuzz, the friendly version. They say like peas and rice instead of Jesus Christ or
Peas and
fudge
rice.
or it's not about proper action or silt.
They did it. A lot of it is done as a joke, isn't it? Because it's just like how ridiculous the TV edits. Like the famous Die Hard one. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. Yippee-ki-yay, melon farmer.
Funnily enough, I remember when they showed Chicken Run on CBBC, they edited out a character saying cobblers. Like,
Oh,
how is that swearing?
is it
A chicken getting its head chopped off, that's fine, but a character saying cobblers? No, we can't have that.
the one in Big Lebowski where instead of see what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, it becomes see what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Oh,
It's like that with Back to the Future as well, because apparently they cut out the line, when this baby hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious shit. So the whole,
yeah.
if you've never seen it before, and Doc shouting, 88 miles per hour,
Oh, I know.
that doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, some TV edits decided to get around that by dubbing it over, but it's awful. So instead of shit, you're going to see some serious stuff.
Oh, God.
Oh, I think on the Scott Pilgrim Blu-ray they have a similar thing where it's the TV edit version, and it's like you are being a total ass becomes you're being a total owl. It's just like, what?
Yeah, also the violence in this completely threw me off guard, because I expected, Shaun of the Dead just to be the goriest one, but, like, this is, like, just as gory, the whole heads chopping off, heads getting demolished later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing about Sanford is that every citizen feels like Ned Flanders. They just take all those events on the nose and be like, well, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't get angry or blow up, they just stay happy. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet's playing on
Yeah,
his radio, isn't it?
yeah, Dire Straits. Yeah,
hmm Plus, that car he's driving, it actually does kind of look like a car James Bond would drive.
it does. Yeah, is it a BMW? Because that would be quite fitting.
Oh, it's a
It's a
Jaguar.
Jaguar. Okay. Still,
Yeah, I
you know,
definitely think
Tomorrow Never
the.
Dies.
Oh wait, a Jaguar. There's one in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, there is.
That happened. Again, the climax is referenced twice here. They go to the model village and they come across Aaron Aronson.
Aaron Aronson. Again, I've heard that like as an insult in like just in daily life. I've heard "fuck off up the model village." Like it just, it's brilliant. It really is.
Plus, notice every time he says skid marks, look how Rafe Spall just can't stop laughing.
Yeah,
I just love how Paddy Considine is just so straight after no, he's being childish. I always use this insult, you don't have to be a detective to work that out.
yeah,
Yeah, because I use that when I watch Love and Monsters, when
oh yeah.
Ursula's been absorbed and she says, "No, I've been absorbed. Elton, you're next." And I'm just like, you don't have to be a detective to work
Yeah.
that out. If the first Doctor never got better by humanity, this is what he'd do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just hoard a load of guns and bother people by cutting down their hedges. Because I love that line of when he says, "Old Arthur Webley's been chopping down hedges that don't belong to him."
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's it. He just wants something to happen. It's literally just
Yeah,
it's literally just a small dispute. It's almost like he wants to get back into action again.
I love that filtering down of translation.
Mm-hmm. Is this a He-Man reference? By the power of Grayskull!
Yes, it is. Yeah. Hey boy.
Yeah, I don't know what it's from, but I've seen a clip of Ricky Gervais and David Bradley in something together, and I think Ricky says, "I love you, Dad," and he just goes, "Guy."
I think that's from Afterlife.
That's it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, for years, I actually thought this David Bradley was the same David Bradley from Kes.
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, they just have the same name. In fact, it's the actor from Kes who had to change his name to Di Bradley.
Hey, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Pub?
I mean, I would argue, yeah, this is the most well-known of the
Yeah.
Cornetto Trilogy in America, because I think this brought in the most money at the box office out of the three.
Yeah, which kind of surprises me, given that like I can't imagine like the translation thing a minute ago with the accents and the joke about all the accents and stuff. I can't imagine that filtering down through, but it's because again it's so British. But
Yeah.
what would you want to be a police officer?
It's great. I use this speech all the time. I don't remember a time when I didn't want to be an actor, apart from the summer of 2005 when I wanted to be Spider-Man. My parents bought me a Spider-Man suit at Christmas. I wore it every second I was awake. I love that. I love that immediate shift. He sounds like a nice bloke. Actually, he sold drugs to students. What a cunt. That as well, because when Danny says a car accident, Nicholas says, official vocab guidelines say we refer to these as collisions, not accidents.
Yeah.
And now he's just called the manner of his mum's death a traffic collision. Mm-hmm.
And again, it'd be so easy to make their relationship in this film the standard, he learns to loosen up by moving to this small town. But it's like, the two leads both have something to learn from each other. It's not like a one-sided thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they both help each other's lives by their kind of time together.
And I love how obviously evil they make Skinner, because he's saying, I'm sure if we bashed your head in, all sorts of secrets could come tumbling out, and let's drink to their demise. And he shows up immediately after the scene of the crime. Yeah, the film is obviously trying to point you in this direction, and yeah, he is the killer, but he's only one of the killers, and it's not the motivation you think it's going to be.
Yeah, definitely.
He did get a little drunk. He's little and he's drunk.
Of course, Ron Cook is Mr. Magpie in Doctor Who.
And, he is, yeah.
Parker from the 2004 Thunderbirds film.
Oh, interesting.
I knew him as a kid, as well as Doctor Who, obviously.
Yeah. It's the last. Oh yeah, there's he'll be in bits tomorrow. I would not want to be him in the morning.
Yeah.
Mainly because he does get blown to bits. I remember when Notre Dame had that fire a few years ago. Someone made the meme. Looks like old Quasimodo had a free up and left the gas on. Oh god. All this editing. How about another beer? George Merchant pulls out another beer.
Yeah.
Gets knocked on the head. It cuts to then Angel slumping back into the sofa.
It's incredible. It's incredible editing.
Yeah.
It really is.
And my favourite is this is presses the remote. The house blows up. As you did with a plant. Yeah, of course he'd ask that. When I want to get people into Doctor Who, I'm like, Team of the Cybermen or Genesis of the Daleks? Oh, which one do you think I prefer? No, I mean, which one do you want to watch first? I'll show you how. Just reveal my whole Doctor Who collection.
God, that is an envious collection.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Boys 2 is...
Pulling my leg and...
God, Bad Boys 2 is like... I think it's like nearly 3 hours long or something like that, and it's just like...
Oh, wow.
It does not need to be that long.
I love how the effort the Enabled Watch Alliance goes to. They could literally just leave the hob on, but no, they've got to put beans in a pot. Yeah, bacon in a frying pan. They want to be authentic. Yeah, not incur a considerable amount of paperwork. There's carnage and mayhem at the end with a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. I love how you can see the body fly through the air. And this editing's just brilliant as well. The actual phone ringing, they wake up, and it's the characters in the film saying, "This shit just got real."
That is what I will say about this film. It's got the same thing that I have with Scream 2, funnily enough, which is an odd comparison. But they're not long, but they feel like longer than they are, and it's not... Obviously, it's not a bad thing. I love the film, but whenever I watch this, I do always think it's just like 5 or 10 minutes, a bit too long. That's sort of the one like quibble I have with it, and it's exactly the same with Scream 2.
Ah, okay, cool. I mean, as of recording this, I will be seeing Scream 5 this weekend.
Yes,
I'm
seeing it Friday.
Yeah, I walked by a poster of it today, and it said, "The killer is on the poster." Like, that's clever.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, it's a cool little thing.
Yeah, just a great way to tell you that this is going to be a meta film.
Yeah, I can't wait. I really can't wait.
Plus this bit here of the Andy going back and that music cue going done, and him coming back and it goes done again. I wonder if that was improvised on set.
It would not surprise me because it's just so like
random. Yeah,
it's such a great GIF as well. Whenever I see it used on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. You didn't see anything suspicious. Who did? Great. I love the build-up that's leading to Nicholas Angel pretty much blowing up himself when he shouts, "Am I going completely mad?" Yeah. Someone's in for a surprise at 3 o'clock. Yep, Tim Messenger is.
Yeah.
And you've got Skinner shouting "Splat the rat!" and it cuts, and it's Tim Messenger
Yeah.
snooping around. Yeah, splat the rat.
Splat the rat. That shop in the background is called Axe Valley as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Axe Valley.
And also, the inspector and Danny are dressed in the same cowboy outfits that you see in a picture earlier in the film when he's
Yeah,
showing
when they're
Nicholas around.
when Danny's a kid. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I did Polar Express in December at the Wensleydale Railway, Rishi Sunak actually came up
Oh God,
because he's the
really?
MP for that area. Yeah, he did. He didn't like see a show, but he
Bloody hell.
took a few pictures with the cast. Was in the train. Yeah. Obviously, he's a Tory. I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of Tories, and what he said to people in the arts. I felt like the two Andys when he was. I was in the crowd. He was just getting all the attention. I just wanted to go prick wanker.
Did you like meet him or anything? Or
No, I wasn't chosen.
oh,
It was
okay.
just some cast members chosen at random. If it were me, I'd have politely refused.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have been able to keep my mouth shut, to be honest.
Yeah. It was prick wanker.
Wow.
Yeah, I love how over the top this
Oh,
death is.
so well.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive effect as well. I always think it's
Yeah, the fact. Yeah, it's great when you pause it and go through it frame by frame. You see his head literally
yeah,
disintegrate. And this tombola practically gives away who the killer is because he reads out the name Simon Skinner and then it's Tim Messenger. Funnily enough, the Neighborhood Watch Alliance, they're dressed in the same colours as Ghostface from Scream.
yeah. It's very Ghostface, isn't it? Like
Mm-hmm.
the cloak and everything. It's yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tim, your number's up, literally. And also, Tim is crushed by a steeple, and end of the film, Skinner is impaled on the model village steeple.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh God, yeah, I've never picked up on that before.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so well done.
and the blood splatters on the camera.
It's a great mix of CG and practical. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
The blood doesn't look great, but the rest of it is just brilliant.
And I love how no one is shocked. They're just like, oh, it's just a
Yeah,
terrible accident.
the Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, he's got shorts on. Oh, what's that line supposed to mean? I mean, this line coming up where one of the Andy says, "Yeah, I was really shocked when I looked at my watch and realised I should be in the pub."
Yeah.
When we all made those plans for 2020 at the start of the year
Yeah.
and cancelled because of a certain pandemic, I mean, for me, I got to middle of June. I was like, "Yeah, I was really shocked when I looked at my watch and realised I should be performing in the theatre
Yeah.
by now."
I love that. You mean me or that? I love the delivery on that.
hmm And typically in action films, when like the partners fall out, it's always raining, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, typically, it'd be raining, the leader would yell at the sidekick, and then you'd get that bloody pop song that says, "We're not friends anymore," or some crap like that.
Randy Newman on the soundtrack.
Yeah, they were friends. No, they're not. It's raining. Angel doesn't know how to switch off. Danny is kind of dumb. As a murder mystery, it doesn't technically cheat because
No, not at all.
it pretty much sets up all these motivations for owning land, business rivalries and things like that. Some things you typically find in a murder mystery, and yeah, it's setting up a good motivation, but then it completely throws you for a loop at the end when it says, no, one
Yeah.
of them was killed because he's a terrible actor. The other one was killed because he can't spell. I do love how needlessly complicated this motivation is, because I don't even think after watching it all these times I don't get it.
No, I don't. Yeah. Pissed on the floor in the crack.
I wonder. The Winchester in Shaun of the Dead is obviously a reference to the rifle
Yeah.
that they use in the film. Is the crown here a reference to anything?
I don't know.
Uh, and of course he'd think there's a real fire just because the inspector said so.
Yeah.
There's reports of a fire in the station. What?
I've even
Yeah,
bought
there's
one
like,
to straw.
oh god, it's her, isn't
Yes,
it?
plasma for.
Oh, I didn't recognise her
Yeah.
there. Well, he was just about to pop off.
Who that fella
I love how
is?
George Merchant. Oh yeah, every time she mentions a deceased person, she always goes, "God rest him."
I love that. Did they ever cut that out on ITV as well? As far as I'm concerned,
I do,
like, does that?
I don't know actually.
I hope not.
Oh, and all the blood splatters on the
Yeah.
glass as well. It's so over the top. I don't know if glass is actually that weak. If you could break a baton if your baton could break it.
Yeah, it does make you wonder. You wonder, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because people can just like crash through glass so easily in films, but you try it in real life, you just go, "Wow, that is strong."
Yeah, yeah. I love the expression on her face.
Yeah.
It's just like.
People have used this for Harry Potter as well when
Yeah.
because it's so funny in Order of the Phoenix they say Cedric Diggory's death was a tragic accident. I just want Harry Potter to shout, Cedric Diggory was fucking murdered. I love this. Ben Fletcher on his pitchfork. The delivery is great. What an absolute shit.
He was a prickly customer.
I love that. Am I going completely mad?
And it makes so much, like, when you know who's behind this and everything, it makes so much sense. Like, every little interaction in this film can be analysed and kind of broken down very easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's a fun fact about this scene. When they were recording the conversation between Nicholas and Skinner, and him saying the whole motivation of why he killed everyone.
Yeah.
Timothy Dalton did show up on set, so Simon Pegg would have someone to act to. Because if you're filming a conversation like that, where it's just one person's side of it, typically you don't need the other actor.
Yeah.
You just got to film them. But yeah, he's so professional. He said, "You know what? I'm just gonna make sure you have someone to act off with, even though I'm not saying anything."
Is all of this, like, obviously it's played in reverse. It wouldn't, but it looks really natural, I think.
It does,
Like,
yeah.
there's certain bits, it's like, I wonder if they actually reversed the footage or whether they just had the actors do it.
Yeah.
Again, it's just, like, it's so creative and inventive.
And the clap, that's
Yeah.
isn't that called the Agatha Christie clap, where the villain would usually clap when they've been found out and say,
Yeah.
bravo?
But even though Timothy Dalton is playing a comedic character, he's still reading every line like it's Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Like, he's still putting so much effort in. It's great.
Do feel free to spool through, and you want aware of my previous year's training as a ballet dancer. And I love that the grin, it matches the
It's one of the
picture
best
there. Do feel free to
visual
spool
jokes in
through.
any comedy you'll ever see. Just
Mm-hmm.
so good. It's just like,
The way he says it is so serious. And going back to the whole uh, Nicholas and Danny learn something from each other. Nicholas learns the whole jog on
yeah.
from Danny.
And the way Simon Pegg plays it, he gets more relaxed as the film goes along. Like, even in scenes like this, when he's obviously off on one, but like he's
Yeah, the way
keeps
he
his body
blankly
moving.
just says, shh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tripped and fell on her own
Yeah.
shears. Even he's starting to believe it.
Cornetto.
No luck catching that one ring then. That ring then. It's just the one ring, actually. Funnily enough, Sam from Lord of the Rings does talk like he would be from Sanford.
Yeah, he does. He definitely does.
Look out, Mr. Frodo. It's all about. It's all about the greater good, Mr. Frodo. Then we later see Sergeant Popwell's corpse in the underground, and you can tell it's him because he's got that great big bushy beard.
A great big bushy beard. And just the way everything is shot here. It's just in such stark contrast to everything we've seen before.
Definitely, yeah. I love the toy music that plays when he sees the monkey. It's just so weird. Because we notice about Michael, when he gets arrested, he's the only one who's crying, so the only one who regrets his actions.
And you have to wonder if this is like a James Bond kind of...
Oh yeah, because he's the big
bulky
hulking henchman.
Big bulky henchman, like it must be a...
Yeah, I'm surprised Rory McCann's not been the Bond henchman yet. Yeah. Nope. His face is perfect, like, I hope this works. Nope. Again, learning more from Danny, he's just quoted a film. This shit just got real. Oh yeah, and again, Danny has learnt something from Nicholas. You know, their notebook. This is the most important thing you'll have, and obviously he's about to go on something really important that'll bust this thing wide open. So he gives him the notepad back. I just found it utterly hilarious when I first watched it. That I thought, oh shit, it's all of them.
It's K9 and Company.
Oh,
it's all gone very K9 and Company.
Yep.
I love that it's
Yeah, I love this.
yeah.
Yeah, they're all planning murder, and they're just talking about a bloody christening as well.
It's like a standard like town meeting mixed with murder. It's so good.
Yes,
It's brilliant.
Sergeant Angel has been taken care of.
Yeah.
He sadly slipped on the wet floor of his bathroom and broke his
Yeah.
neck.
He's such a good villain, Timothy Dalton. He's
Yeah,
tenacious.
he can play the hero and the villain.
Yeah.
He is tenacious, isn't he?
The greater good.
The greater good. Of him being an appalling actor. Yeah, look how the motivations are so petty and childish.
The Dramatic Society is an important feather in our cap. It's some stuff.
Yeah. I imagine this is what the Not My Doctors are like.
Yeah.
Anyone who mildly disagrees with them, they're out. They're cancelled. Actually, no, if you don't collaborate with them, they're called traitors. Like,
Oh yeah, traitors
God,
like we're
like,
in school.
yeah, this isn't the fucking playground. Come on.
You turned her against me.
You have done that yourself. It was a terrible shame. We can't have her. No one can.
I love that. She's moving away, and it's just this.
Yeah.
Because it's just this wonderful, like, obviously, in little villages like this, people aren't murderers, but there is like this sinister bend to some of it. When
Yeah.
villages like this, and it's just this perfect like satire of just the way they all
How
talk
villages
so
are so. Yeah, and how villages are so tranquil and peaceful, and you think, what if there's a cult that want to stop that from anyone who tries to change that? And we did miss it, but I do love that double take. You murdered him for that? Well, he murdered Bill Shakespeare. What? Oh. Yeah, and that was pretty much Angel when Danny showed up. I was like, Danny, no! Not Danny as well.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's quite devastating, isn't it? Like,
Mm-hmm. Make Sanford great again. So did Donald Trump watch this film and use that for his campaign?
never know. He could have been a fan.
Yeah, might have done. They're happy with all the tragic accidents they have. God, it's like living in a Tory government. Yeah, I mean, people will bring up the death toll of COVID, and what will the Tories say? Oh, come on, they were just nasty accidents, weren't they?
Well, especially yeah, especially with what's come out recently.
Yeah. To quote The Simpsons, videotaping this crime spree was the best idea we ever had. Yeah, and the great thing is, every minor character here that we've seen before, they're not just throwaway characters. You they get some kind of payoff
Yeah.
here that they're all gypsy scum, travellers. Even the living statue's dead.
And again, it's quite it is genuinely gory and
hmm Yeah, there's the old Sergeant Popper, the great big bushy.
the living statue. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. hmm I mean, if you've been listening this long, and you might be a bit shocked to hear us say this, but it's great that this comes back. The whole ketchup thing getting
Yeah,
stabbed. Because isn't he wearing a stab vest as
I think
well?
he is. Yeah.
And I think earlier in the film he said, "You never know when you might need it." And they were like, "No one's going to stab you in the village."
It's not. It's ketchup. The
I
NWA.
just said it was his special club.
I love how he calls them Skellingtons.
Yeah. Because as a kid, you always called them Skellingtons.
Yeah. Not Judge Judy and Executioner. One of the best lines of the trilogy. I wonder, is this meant to be an homage to the opening shot of or the opening scene of Goodfellas? Just look like the red
The
light.
bright red light.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not seen Goodfellas, so I wouldn't
Okay.
know, actually.
Like the red light, and like they're standing near the boot of the car, and
hmm As this actor who's playing the service station attendant, is he from anything?
pardon.
So it seems like the attendant at the service station.
Oh yeah.
Is he an actor from anything? Because it seems like he's really important.
yeah. I don't think so. I vaguely recognise it. He looks a bit like Edgar Wright, not gonna lie.
He does a bit, yeah.
Oh yeah, bit more of a close up of the Shaun of the Dead thing in a minute, isn't there?
I think so, yeah.
I love how the scene transition and the beautiful day in God's country. It sounds like the music. It sounds like a
It's something from
promotional video for like a farm. Or
yeah,
something.
exactly. Or something from
Yeah,
Emmerdale.
exactly. Yeah.
That's a Monty Python line. It's
Mum.
Mum. this is a cliche in action films. You take out the two defenses early, and they'll typically say to you, "What are you gonna do? You don't stand a chance,"
Yeah.
or something like that. That's pretty typical. Nobody tells me nothing.
Nobody tells
I
me
used that GIF in 2019 when someone said, "Is there a general election going on now?"
Yeah.
I can't remember. And I just put, "Nobody tells me nothing."
I love that joke about the two Bill Baileys as well. It's like it's so. Again, it's
Surreal.
quite subtle as well. Like you don't. They reveal it there, but like beforehand, you're just like, wait, did he have a different hair? Like,
Different hairstyle, yeah.
check out his horse.
It's. Yeah.
I love the Romeo and Juliet posters are still up.
Yeah. Morning. And I just love how they have these guns hidden away as if they're expecting
Yeah.
something like that to happen any day now.
You never know. You got to be prepared.
Yep. Morning. Also, the great thing about this climax is that no one dies. It's
Yeah.
literally the Batman rule: no
It
killing.
literally is. Yeah. It's well directed action as well. That's the thing. It's
hmm
the thing with these films. They aren't just like good parodies of the genres they're doing. They're good examples of those in their like Shaun of the Dead is a great zombie film as well as a pastiche of one. This is a genuinely
Yeah.
solid action crime film as well as a pastiche of one,
hmm
which I think is
Yeah.
important to nail.
And I love that sign there. No more than one school child at a time.
Yeah,
They all pile into the shop.
yeah, because
Yeah.
they've been setting that up all throughout the film.
hmm It's pretty impressive. She can ride that bike with no hands and it doesn't
Yeah,
twist or turn everywhere. That is impressive. Plus, I often love the splats the bodies
yeah.
get. I just think it makes it funnier. It sounds a bit cruel. It just makes it funnier that they're all pensioners.
No, I get that. I definitely get that.
hmm don't think I've ever seen a shotgun better portrayed in this film than this one.
Oh yeah,
It just looks so awesome every time they shoot off a
so
shotgun.
powerful as
It's
well.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fascist! I love
Fascist.
the way her hair
Yeah,
jiggles as well as she
vibrates.
shoots
It's
the
so funny.
gun. Yeah. Oh, fuck off, grasshopper. That's one of my favourite
Yeah.
insults. Let us stop this mindless violence. I just think it's so funny of Vicar saying, Jesus Christ, in blasphemy.
Fuck off, grasshopper. It's just the way, the contrast with what you were saying
Yeah,
before.
it was so peaceful. Like, let's stop this mindless violence.
Violence.
Fuck off, grasshopper. I love this when he gets his foot blown off. You can actually see the other foot step on one of his destroyed toes. If you pause it and run it in slow mo, it's so gruesome. He's a doctor; he can deal with it. Yeah, motherfucker. Again, that was earlier in the film when he was shot with an air rifle. Oh, he stepped on one of his toes. I love that. Oh,
It's so good.
he sounds like a monster.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, motherfucker. Like that shot is meant to be like Bad Boys 2. Like it's a direct.
Definitely,
They're
yeah.
directly just doing the same shot.
hmm Oh, is this pub called the Crown because one of them gets that spiky thing
Quite possibly.
stuck on their head? Maybe, I don't know.
Quite possibly.
Mm. And the great thing about this climax is that it never feels, for me, it never feels too drawn out because
Definitely. Yeah.
the settings are always changing. You've got the shootout in the centre of the village, in the pub, in the supermarket, then a car chase, then a fist fight in a model village.
I love the sound effects just then as well with the game sound effects.
Yeah. The something you'd hear on Mario.
What the fuck is he on about? Oh,
No, yeah, what? That's, what? It's very unridiculous. That's like a Ralph Wiggum line.
yeah.
Me fail English? That's impossible. I'm learning.
And the NWA.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what he isn't even from round here. Like that's an interesting comment because
Hmm.
a lot of places are like that. You sort of feel like you're the outsider if you're not
Yeah, exactly.
from
Hmm.
there.
I love this. Yeah, I love that lion sound effect of the sparks coming down and seeing Frank just go. Because Jim Broadbent, if I imagined him as an animal, it definitely would not be a
No, no.
lion. My, here come the fuzz. I love how this joke comes back because typically it'd be Tony asking, "So what should we do, Sergeant?" And he'd say, "Let's do all this, this, and this." Very good. Well, he said, "No,
Yeah.
it's the other way around." This bolognese gag coming up, I think, is
Oh, it's
perfect.
so
And
good.
I, sorry, Andy, it's just bolognese.
Yar.
Yeah, this is what you really, really want.
Yar.
Yeah. Oh, crash into the DVDs.
Yeah.
Hmm. It's just bolognese. Yeah, I love that. The jam, it kind of looks like how he's got a bloody
Yeah.
head. I mean, yeah, definitely should have said cool off
Yeah. Some
or
chill out.
cool, chill out, cool party. Stay cool, bad boy. You're off the fucking chain. Apparently, the line coming up here when he just says to himself, "Idea," and looks at the trolleys. Apparently, that's based on
Yeah.
comic book panels where if a character had an idea, you'd literally see a speech for it that would tell them what their idea
That's
is.
it.
But
Yeah.
here they just have him say, "Idea."
Shame.
Hmm. I mean, that's kind of a cliche in action films as well. Those
Definitely.
it took them a long time to push those trolleys down the aisle, but those
Yeah.
two butchers didn't think to get out of the way.
Definitely keep it a girl on girl.
For attack! In the TV friendly version, it's "Don't go being a twonk, no."
Yeah.
Skip. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, These Village of the Year judges, apparently the two women are Simon and Nick's, or is it Edgar's mum? I can't remember. And the guy in the middle, who you see there, is their old drama teacher,
nice.
apparently.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I love they basically break the fourth wall. Just look at the
camera. Yep. Be ironic if there was a scene where they actually did win Village of the Year.
Yeah.
After all that. And I love this next bit here where Danny's just going bang, 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 because we all did that as kids, let's be honest, when we had toy guns. Yeah. Just going bang, bang, bang. It's perfect. And then we get Swan!
I love the sound effect. Like the
Oh,
it's so good.
that kid looked like he could be a Weasley.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron A. Aronson.
Aronson?
Sorry? But funnily enough, I first heard the name Aaron A. Aronson from, I think it was The Simpsons. It was the, hello, is this A. Aronson? It might interest you to know that Marge Simpson is pregnant again. There, Aronson and Zukowski are the two big blabbermouths in Springfield. In an hour, everyone will know. Stay back, or the ginger nut gets it. Oh, I'd love for Bond to say that one time. Fucker!
You little fucker.
Yeah, the TV-friendly version is, you little monster! Yeah. I bet this was a childhood dream for Simon Pegg, getting into a fist fight with James Bond.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely, it's insane, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Timothy Dalton, he must have been pushing 60 here.
Oh yeah. Oh, no,
I think, yeah. Definitely. Late 50s, definitely. Get out of my village! That's typical in action films. The villain will just beat the hero with a line, and then the hero will come back with a comeback. Yeah. Grab the last punch and then just go whack. Sorry? I've always got that crappy little knife.
I know.
And ironically, he slips on a Summerfield lorry.
It looks really painful when it goes through the...
Oh!
So you can see it like inside the knife. Oh.
Yeah. And the way he just says, oh. This really hurts. Yeah. I'm going to need some ice cream. Oh yeah, there's some back at the station. Literally. That was me with 2020. Pocket in 2020, you silly bastard! I love the Point Break reference here. God! And again, I love how it's the Swan that comes back to save them all.
Just the sound effect of the swan is so funny.
Yeah, just almost like it's a snake. This is typical in an action film where the bosses who fired the action hero at the start will say, "Come back," or something like that. "We could use your services again." Oh, and I bloody love that there, what Paddy Considine is doing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, this film it's one of those ones that just gets better every single time. Yep, like you said, here's the paperwork. Yeah,
Definitely.
I always wonder. It's like they've pretty much all of the village has been arrested. What happens now? Like,
And again, typical in an action film, there's usually after the climax is over, you get that one henchman who survived or was missed out.
dirty bastard!
You cheeky fucker! How have they gone all this time without noticing him? You know what you are, a bloody busybody. Not Danny. Plus, I love how that's all he can say when he lands on the seat, man. Oh, God, no. How does he survive?
I don't know. I genuinely.
Oh well, don't care.
Yeah. Don't think too much about it.
Yeah, because it throws you for a loop. You think he's going to put flowers on his grave, but no, it's his mum, I think, or something like that.
He's got plot armor.
Yep. Bad writing. Edgar Wright can't write. I'm going to make a 75-hour review of why Hot Fuzz is the worst movie ever. Now, is it true? Are they actually making a sequel to this?
I don't know. Like, it's one of those things that's been rumored for years.
I wouldn't say no to a sequel, but I just kind of think it's a one and done film. That's what I feel about every Cornetto film.
Well, that's it. They're always saying, "Oh, there's going to be a fourth Cornetto film." It's like, well, everyone's always saying that.
Yep. And that was Hot Fuzz. Yep, a absolutely perfect film, utterly hilarious. A film I could watch any time and never get tired of.
Yeah, I do completely agree. Every time I watch it, I'm like, is that my favourite of the three? Like, it is so...
Yeah.
it's so brimming with so much personality, and like, it's by far the funniest of the three. I think that's sort of universal.
Definitely, yeah. This is the one I laugh at the most.
I mean, if you've
Yeah.
listened this far, we've just been laughing throughout the whole film. It's like...
Exactly, yeah.
It's such a funny film. Just so much personality.
Hilarious.
Just like the other two, the direction is perfect. Just everything about it is just incredible, and I don't
Exactly, yeah.
It's very accessible as well. Like I said right at the start of the commentary, everyone has seen this. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
David Arnold.
Everyone and their mum. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
The music they actually got a Bond composer for the music. That's cool.
Everyone and their mums has seen Hot Fuzz, and who else? Former's mums.
Yeah. But it's true. It's true that everyone has seen it. It is a British institution, I think. Even like
Exactly, yeah.
The other two, it is. Yeah, everyone knows it and everyone's seen it. It's
correct. Yeah.
It's just one of those films, and I like I said earlier, I am surprised that it kind of permeated America as much as it has, but yeah.
Yeah.
And
because honestly, the funny thing about American comedies is that they tend to rely on more gross out humor, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas here we just rely on the bizarreness of everything and the surrealness.
Yeah, I think Stephen Fry said British humor is we laugh at our own failures. Like we make this big thing out of failure, and our comedy is so kind of dour in comparison to American comedy, where it's like American comedy is so optimistic, and the idea that life can be improved, and there's it kind of glamorizes things, whereas British comedy is just so like grounded. And both work.
Definitely, yeah.
So intrinsically, like it's a celebration and a satire of small English villages.
Yeah, I mean, going back to that idea of the British comedy comes from laughing at our own failures.
Yeah.
I'd argue Life of Brian is kind of like that. It's considered one of the best comedies ever made. And it's about Brian, who's a failure in life. And how does it end? He's brutally executed, having lost everything and going pretty much to nothing. And what's he lost? Nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. That is absolutely
true.
And it's just like... it's pretty... It's an interesting observation, and and I mean, applying that to this, it's really interesting, I think. And like I said, I mean, coming back to earlier when we said everybody's seen it, it's on ITV2 like on an hourly basis.
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's always shown on there. Like every charity shop in existence has a copy of it on DVD. Like,
oh yeah,
I think my grandparents somehow have 2 copies, and to this day, none of us can figure out why.
Well, funnily enough, the Blu-ray is rated an 18, but the DVD is rated a 15. I don't get it.
I guess it's more special features, right? On the Blu-ray?
Probably, yeah.
Sure, I'll have to have a look. But yeah, it is weird. It is weird. It's we were looking at it the other day in a shop. It was like the Suicide Squad that had or maybe it was something in a shop. Like me and my friend were like, that has a much higher rating on Blu-ray than it does on DVD. It's really odd. Really.
Yeah, it is weird.
Strange how they do it, but yeah, no. Hot Fuzz, classic, great film. Excellent.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the end of the Hot Fuzz commentary. What will we be doing next week?
Next week, we are here to get annihilated. We will be looking at The World's End, the crowning achievement. Quite appropriate because the main character is Gary King.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, you're right. That's very true. That's very, very true.
Mm-hmm.
So look forward to The World's End commentary. In the meantime, go subscribe to Isaac and check out our past commentaries, available all here in a playlist on my channel. We'll see you next time for The World's End. Bye bye.
Bye bye.